I just don't get it. I do not understand how these people get away with it again and again and again. It's like they are impervious to justice. You see, Nigel Farage's merry band of self-proclaimed saviours of Britain may have been stealing your personal data. Yep, you heard it right. Apparently, because you've got to say apparently, or allegedly, anyone who has visited the Reform UK website in the past 2 years, isn't recent, although it's stopped now, apparently. Well, they've been lifting your personal data, using cookies and what have you, and just handing it all over to Facebook. Sounds familiar? Well, but let's be honest. A little bit of light privacy violation between friends. But well, the thing is, though, they weren't just handing it to Facebook so they could market a load of crap to you. Look, so you buy a load of shit you don't need. No, it's not about that. The fact of the matter is, they've been using it. I'm going to say, actually, the fact of the matter is, apparently, they've been using it for political purposes. This is what I say. It feels a little bit familiar. Maybe you know what I mean. Leave it in the comments down below. Now, the Information Commissioner's Office, the ICO, is on the case. They're investigating, which is all well and good. But this governor, yeah, if it actually wants to restore a shred of trust in absolutely anything, it's going to need to launch yet another, well, just another inquiry, I reckon. Maybe. Well, I don't really know, to be honest. Maybe they'll just pile it onto an existing inquiry somewhere else. Because they like to do that. They like to do it with the bills as well, so they can sneak through damaging portions of the bill that affects people badly. But you see, the system is currently in tatters. The government is in a complete utter array. The Labour government's got one massive cock-up to try and sort out. And it's going to take time. Meanwhile, these people have got your data. And the whole mess just reeks of Cambridge Analytica. That is it. That is what I'm reminiscing about. Cambridge Analytica. And Chris Wiley of Cambridge Analytica, the whistleblower, blower, he told us that to gain all access to all the Facebook Facebook profiles, in the United States, you only need to have access to 270,000 of them. And then you can access them all. That's what he said. And this information has been used politically. Politically. How is that? They're so hell-bent. I can't go on about postal voter fraud, if you even get your postal vote, that we didn't. Postal voter fraud, or this, that, and the other. I mean, they're so hell-bent on whinging and whining over that, yet other countries do it all online. Yet they're happy to steal your flipping data to manipulate the political vote. Hypocrites. That's the Reform Party for you. They just tell you what they think you want them to hear. Now, we don't know that this information that they managed to collect, just like they did with the Brexit vote and the Cambridge Analytica, whether or not they managed to swing or the actual the vote in their favour. Maybe they've only got one MP or none. Reform UK, that is. Well, I should say limited. Reform UK Limited. Majority shareholder of one happens to be Nigel Farage, just so he can have control of the party. Democratic, hey? The hypocrisy in all this is just astounding, and yet no one really says anything. It's frustrating to hell, I tell you. It just really is. But the folks who effectively helped swing that Brexit referendum vote and handed the keys of the White House even to that orange one. Yeah, that orange bloke, remember him? Yeah, apparently he's trying to get in again, you know. But it looks like this other person who went for the VP, Kamala Harris, looks like she's taken the lead in the polls, and the orange one could end up in jail with a bit of luck. Let's just hope. Keep fingers crossed. Well, they were masters, they were. Cambridge Analytica were masters of using personal data to figure out who was most likely to fall for some targeted information. And I'm sorry, many people in the UK are easily duped. Or should I say England? But anyway, they're, oh, crikey, England and Wales maybe, are easily duped. Sorry, Welsh, but it's true. So you just hit them with a load of nonsense dressed up as a truth. Now, Facebook got slapped with $1 billion fine in the US over Cambridge Analytica, and Cambridge Analytica had to shut down. Not necessarily because of potential cases against them and fines and God knows what else. It's because it was more about the dodgy further investigation. You know, dodging further investigation than anything else. So now, when you hear that Nigel Farage, who was neck deep in the disinformation swamp back in 2016, has been running a website that hoovers up personal data without consent, you might want to pay a little bit of attention. Fact check for a start. Don't just pay attention to just the clickbait headlines. Now, I've been doing it on a few of my videos recently. Clickbaity headlines, been a bit of an experiment. And people do click on them. They do. The problem is, though, not everyone actually reads the content. And many of these articles are misleading. Because they want you to read the whole article. So they keep you interested for as long as possible. They don't want you to click away until the punchline. But who gets to the punchline? Who gets to the facts? That kind of discredits the headline somewhat. They don't, do they? People don't. A lot of these people can't even read. You know you are. Well, his website has been hoovering up all your personal data, using that personal data for political gains, as well as marketing and stuff like that. And this is the same Nigel Farage who's supposed to be standing up for the little guy. No, it's a load of bollocks. Sorry, as I say it. Yeah, here he is. Apparently boozing the trust of his own supporters and anyone who visits the website, including myself. You know? I've been there. I want to know what this contract was. Their manifesto contract. Whatever they like to call it. What a rubbish that is. Such as their in-out immigration policy. It doesn't work. No immigration policy is ever going to work. Because the people going out are generally UK citizens like myself living abroad. I could come back any time without any squabble. So how is in-out going to work? So, let's be clear. Most of the people checking out Reform UK's site are likely his followers, though. And what's he doing? Harvesting their data. He's cheating on them, basically. Half of it. Is it a farm half in the harvest? See, he's got that glut. Yeah, it's like the farming glut. A glut of information. The thing is, it gets even better. They were collecting not just for the browsing data, but they were using your data, all right, on the site. There was tracking data as well. There was cookies to track where you've been. All your websites that you've been to since visiting the Reform website. Get more, paint more of a picture of who you are as a person so they can manipulate you. This is just immoral on so many levels. And I went ahead, you see. And even if you said no. So if you click that little box and say no, they carried on collecting your data. They carried on putting cookies on your tracking cookies on your computer, your devices. They know what porn sites you've been to. Oh, but I said out loud. Well, Nigel Farage, what has he been up to since being elected? Well, quite frankly, he hasn't been setting up his constituency office in Clacton. No. There was also a massive fire that ravaged properties in the area. Did he go and visit? No. Not a peep, nothing. He's too busy milking his supporters for all they're worth. And now we find out that the data they harvested wasn't just for marketing, but was also being used, might have been used Cambridge Analytica-style to build up political profiles of users. And if you believe it wasn't, well, then quite frankly, I've got I don't know, the Eiffel Tower. I've got a nice Eiffel Tower for you. There. You know, for dinner. So what's the Reform UK's excuse? Oh, it was just a little accident. 2 years they're doing this for. It's the deliberate action. It's not something that comes included with software when you set up your, I don't know, WordPress website, what have you. No, this is something they have looked for. They've put it on their site to collect the data of users. So there's no accident. It's deliberate. So it's not just a little oopsie. It's deception. It's theft. Now, they claim that they have never used the data to influence voting, they claim. Do you believe that, though? I think this justifies a full-on inquiry, to be honest. Because if this government is serious about tackling disinformation, the Labour government that is, which, by the way, played a huge role in the recent riots, we saw Nigel Farage, there's no doubt. He was there. He was there with his online little spats, telling everybody how great they were. Well, he was basically putting fuel on the fire. He knew what he was doing. He was pretty much doing what Donald Trump did on the riots at Capitol Hill. While they sit back and watch all their little trenchmen. Trenchmen? What's the word? Oh, anyway, all their little minions to do their dirty deeds for them. Henchmen, that's a henchman. Henchman? Oh, anyway, whatever. Now, Labour have said they're going to review the Online Safety Act if they get in power, which now they are in power. So they need to do that. But let's not focus on that one aspect here, no. We need to look at how disinformation has been weaponised for absolutely years. It's not just the terrorism, or riots if you like. No. But it's election campaigns too. Because if Reform UK, Party Limited, has been stealing personal data to bolster their campaigns, and that's got to be dealt with. And it's not just fraudulent, it's extremely illegal. And you could potentially question the MP's place in Parliament. Now, Farage and his lot, they do keep getting their hands caught in the old cookie jar. Whether it's dodgy data practices or pushing populist nonsense, yet they keep coming up with more and more excuses. Oh, it was just an error. Now, they say, but quite frankly, it's incompetent and corrupt. It doesn't matter either way. End of the day, this should not be happening at all. Now, it's pretty obvious it was a deliberate act. And if you or I did anything like that, we would end up drawn over the coals. And inside, probably. Because this is actually very, very serious. But they'll get away with it. Nothing will happen. They always do. People with money and power literally get away with murder. Just like Donald Trump when he said, I could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue or something, and they'll still love me. And then we got the fines. So that's all they will get. These people, the Reform Party Limited, well, all they will do is get fines. They're not going to get locked up. They might just get some fines. They've already had a fair share of fines, but what are fines, really? It's just more donation money. Just like Donald Trump again. Donation money. Paying his way through the courts. So there's no point slapping the flipping fine on these people. No, they need to be locked up. This is fraud. This is a political crime, if it's found to be accurate. They haven't denied that. No. They've said they've stopped now. Sorry. This is all like, I know, swatting a fly with a flippin' feather, you know, it's never going to sort the problem out. Now, acting fast and hard has proved to be very, very, how to put it, effective with the terrorist riots of recent times. Get him arrested, get him in court, get him locked up. So if you're just going to keep finding these people and not actually dealing with the root crime, and just put Nigel Farage, lock him up. End of the day, it's his company, it's his flipping limited company. He's the major shareholder. He's the chair at the table. Ultimately, it's down to him. His head ought to be on the old chopping block. We need real consequences. And it's ironic that these people are flipping now. They all want the death penalty back, don't they? But they're the ones doing the crimes. But unless something like serious actually happens, a way of controlling misinformation online, blocking people, well, crikey, Elon Musk's X, formerly Twitter. You know, that's where the consequences come in, because he loses advertising revenue. He's already complaining because he's not getting any advertising revenue. And don't get me, he doesn't care about money. That's a load of bollocks. He didn't flipping, taking the court Tesla because he wanted to get 57 billion payout. Of course he cares about blooming money. Oh, you want to lose freedom of speech, he said in an interview with, Lennon, or whatever his name is. Lemon. This all lies. Elon Musk, Nigel Farage, Donald Trump, they're all just liars. Narcissistic sociopaths. And the only way to deal with them is hard. It's like the bully in the playground. The only way you have to face up to these people. Otherwise, you just end up having your faces pushed in the muck again and again and again. They have to stand up to the bullies. And that's what they are. They're bullies. And they're getting away with it. So there you go. I just find it absolutely shocking that these people keep getting away with it again and again and again and again. Like I said at the beginning of this video. But please, boot the old like button. But please comment down below. Because I do read the comments. I can't always reply. Don't, because it's too many. But I do actually go through them and read them. So I do appreciate the comments. And also I find I'm learning by them all the time. Some of the contributors, apart from the far right, nasty people. Yeah, those ones. Well, there's many people who contribute on the channel that are complete out of wealth of information. Accurate information. So we've got a pretty good community on this channel. So I do appreciate that. Very much so. And if it wasn't for people like you, I wouldn't keep going. I just think, what's the point? So, anyway, it's time for me to go. So I'm going to say toodaloo, you know. But please comment down below.